Namaste and welcome to today's Yoga in the Garden class. I've had a request from someone out there for a strong core focused practice. So we're going to be really focusing on igniting our Agni, part of us that keeps us healthy, which resides in our bellies, in our core as most of us perceive it. And it's not about getting that six-pack. If it happens, it's a healthy byproduct of your yoga practice. I'm not there yet, but for me, it's about being strong, it's about being healthy, but keeping an element of fire in my belly. So we're going to start opening up that space. You'll need a couple of yoga bricks. If you haven't got yoga blocks, a couple of books, this kind of size, or a bolster, or some cushions, something that you can lie on and be comfortable to start. And we're going to have them on the floor, and I'm going to come sideways on so you can see, but you can lie down on your mat. We bring our feet together and our knees relax apart from each other. And then guide yourself back so that your mid-back is on the lowest block or cushion. And when you lie back onto it, your chest opens up. And then you find the other block, and you can turn the angle of it. So I'm not going too far into this. This one supporting my head is a little bit higher than the one under my shoulders. I'm opening up and starting gentle, and then I'm letting my arms drop down by my sides. And as I do that, I'm getting a little bit of a stretch through my hips, through the front of my body, across the front of my chest, and my shoulders are just being allowed to drop down towards the floor. There is space in the back of my neck and space between my chin and my chest. And I find this comfortable. If it's not comfortable, by all means take the blocks away. If your hips are screaming at you saying no, too much, you can have your feet flat on the floor and let your knees rest against each other. But we're just going to take a few moments sending and directing our breath all the way down into our belly. So as we begin to lengthen and deepen our breath, you can close your eyes, and I'd like you to visualize the flow of air. Perhaps picture it as a colour, or some people like to picture it as a river. As you inhale through your nose, it fills up your chest, and then it fills up your belly, expanding all the way down to your pubic bone, really creating space. And then exhale, use your tummy muscles to gently contract, to push the air out of your nostrils again. So there's a small amount of force, a small amount of effort. Inhaling to expand your belly, your rib cage, all the way down to Mula Bandha. And exhale, drawing the belly button back towards the spine, still keeping a softness to your shoulders. We'll do one or two more like that in your own time. Really focusing on how your breath is affecting movement in your belly, feeling the muscles expand and stretch. And then feel a gentle tone and contraction, perhaps a lift through the pelvic floor as you exhale and squeeze the air out. Perhaps some of you who are familiar with Ujjayi breath, you might want to bring that practice in now, that audible sound to your breath. The contraction at the back of the throat, make the throaty raspy sound. The very chilled out Darth Vader sound. And we're gently going to bring our knees together if they're not already. And extend your legs out straight if it feels comfortable. Dorsiflex your feet, so pull your toes back towards your shins. Make sure the outside edges of your feet are pulling back as well. Engage through the Mula Bandha, so a little bit of a pelvic tuck now. Toning the belly muscles. Take an inhale, reach the arms up over your head. Maybe fingertips touch the floor behind you, maybe not. Opening the chest a little bit, working on opening the shoulders a little bit. Take a breath here. And then on an exhale, reach your arms up, bring your chin to your chest and start to curl forwards. If this is too strong, bring your hands down by your sides. Reaching and curling yourselves up to an upright seated position. Take another inhale. Reach your arms up. Utthita Dandasana. And then exhale, bring your hands, float your hands down by your sides. And bring your legs into Sukhasana, simple cross-legged position. If this feels uncomfortable or tight on your hips, particularly if you do have strong hip flexor muscles, it's often quite tricky to sit in cross legs posture. So if that's the case, try a block. It's not cheating. It could revolutionize your sitting asana, your seated asana practice. So try lifting the sit bones up on a block. Whoa, how much easier is that? So it's not cheating. I'm going to work with some pranayama, some breathing practices today. And these are also kriyas, which means a cleansing practice. So this one we're going to be doing now is called Kapalabhati, shining skull breath. But it's also referred to as practice of cleansing with fire. We're going to use the fire in our belly to cleanse our whole system, our whole body, the energy within our body, physical, emotional, energetic. Now, a little brief warning, if anyone watching or participating in this video is pregnant, has any abnormal blood pressure, has had any recent abdominal surgery, or has just had a very large meal, I wouldn't do this practice. I would just sit and focus on breathing deeply and getting that expansion into your belly with you inhale and contracting as you exhale. For those of you who are able to and want to give this practice a go, it's a forced exhale through both nostrils, and we use a contraction of the belly muscles to force the air out of our nostrils. The inhale will happen automatically. So it sounds, I might scoot a little bit closer to the screen. Close up. It sounds and looks a little bit like this. Resting your hands on your knees or your thighs, relaxing your shoulders, taking a deep breath into your belly, and then forcing the air out. So dynamic contraction of the belly. Join in when you're ready. I meant to mention, blow your nose first if you've had a cold recently. If you're in your own house, it should be okay. Couple more. And then long, slow exhale. And then just let your breath settle, close your eyes. Although your belly is soft, there is a gentle tone to it. So there's a gentle lift now through the pelvic floor. We're starting to engage our bandhas, keeping that energy in our body. And then slowly having a few blinks to open your eyes, and hopefully you feel a little bit more awake, a little bit more alive. Simply, that practice can be done on its own in the morning a few times. It's a really great practice to do to wake your body up for the day. So we're going to start moving a little bit more dynamically now. So bringing your feet flat to the floor, hip width apart, just walk your hands out behind you a little bit. Just a tiny bit wider than shoulder width apart. Fingers pointing forwards if possible. Roll your shoulder blades together, puff up your chest, and on an inhale, press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips up, the hip points lift up towards the ceiling, but the belly muscles contract, squeezing in, and you're still breathing deeply. Knees are pointing, knees are over ankles, and then exhale, lower your bottom to the floor. Cross your legs at your shins if that's appropriate for you, and roll over, stepping back to a plank. Lovely. From your plank pose, take a deep breath in your plank. Spread your fingers out, shoulders away from ears. heels away from you. Contract the belly. On an exhale, see if you can come down halfway. Squeezing the elbows by the sides, long neck. Brilliant, you've got it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And then inhale, slide up to your cobra or up dog. Back of the neck is long, you don't have to come too high. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Relaxed neck, soft knees. Armpits turning towards each other, fingers spreading. Base of the thumb and index finger pressing down into the mat. Lifting the belly up towards the spine. Almost creating a vacuum space to lift your hips a little bit higher. Bend your knees, look to your thumbs, nice springy legs, and on an exhale, step or lightly jump your feet forwards to your hands. Inhale, lift to a flat back position. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your arms up, bend your knees, sit back into an imaginary chair. We're going to do some dynamic pumping breath now. So inhale, reach your arms up, but sit down into your chair. Straighten your legs. Exhale, breathe out and compress. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, inhale. Dynamic. Out, in, out, in, out. One more, in, out, long breath out. Hold the chair pose. Reach up through your fingers. Gaze is forwards, upper arms by the ears. Exhale, lower the hands to the floor. Straighten the legs, flat back. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or jump back to a plank and lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. A little bit more dynamic today. Exhale, down dog. Find your breath. Take one more deep breath. At the end of the exhale, step or jump forwards. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, straighten up all the way up now. Utthita Tadasana. Straight into another Surya Namaskar A, folding all the way forwards. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or jump back to a plank. Lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog, lifting from the hips. Nice deep breaths in your down dog now. Bend your knees at the end of your next exhale. Step or jump forwards. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Lift your belly to your spine. Inhale, press into your feet. Utthita Tadasana. I'm going to go sideways on for the next variation. One more. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, flat back. This is all familiar. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or jump back to a plank and lower halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale this time, see if you can lift from your hips. Some of you might be able to roll over your toes, lifting your hips up. It's a Marmite thing, you either love it or you hate it. We're going to do a few of those transitions now, so lifting from the belly. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lift the hips up as if you're rolling your way forwards into a plank. So we're going to lift up through the hips, rolling our way back to down dog. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, lift the hips up. And lift the hips up and back. Brilliant. Take an inhale, lift your right leg high into the air behind you, extending out through your heel, keeping your hips level. On an exhale, bring your knee to your nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend, right leg up into the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. One more time, exhale, knee to nose. This time, hold it, hold it, hold it. Squeeze and hover, 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 hover. Imagine there's a rope around your shin. Look between your hands and see if you can flick or step your right foot forward between your hands. Lovely, coming into a lunge, high lunge position. Pressing into the back heel, reaching the crown of your head forwards. Take your arms wide and inhale, lift up. Shoulders over hips, a little bit of a bend in the back knee to take out too much hyperlordosis or too much bend in the lower back. Find your breath. And then take your arms wide, stretch into your fingers, clip your back heel down and revolve around into warrior two. Your right knee and your right fingers are pointing in the same direction. So your knee isn't pointing off to the side. So I did a children's class recently and I described laser beams coming out of your fingers and your knee, and they want to be pointing at the same target. Stretching into your fingers, relaxing your feet. Nice. Straighten the right leg. On an exhale, reach your right arm towards the front of your mat. And when you can't reach any more, lower your right hand to your right shin. Now before you go too far, just be mindful that you're not jarring your right knee backwards, so a tiny, tiny bend in the right knee. Lift the left arm up, roll the left shoulder back, roll the right shoulder blade back, so the shoulder blades are squeezing together and moving away from your ears. Once you're in the posture, you can decide to go a bit lower. See if you can name it for those of you at home, but if you don't know it, it's Trikonasana. We're going to take a challenging variation of this posture now. So we're going to hold the shape, use our oblique muscles, keep the left arm lifting and see if you can reach the right arm forwards, turn the right palm upwards. If you want more juice to this, you bring the left arm overhead as well. It's difficult to talk. Keep the chest revolving towards the ceiling, keep breathing. And then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Well done. It's hard to talk and do that. On an exhale, we're going to lean the whole body over the back leg. Keep the arms, palms facing each other, as if you're holding onto a ball. And then inhale to center. Release, take your arms out wide, bend your right knee. We'll take a vinyasa. So windmill the right hand down outside the left hand, inside the right leg. Step back to a plank. You can rest if you need to here. Lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Take your time, pause the video, have a rest if you need to. Find your breath in your down dog. And we'll do the same on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, lift your left leg high up into the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, three-leg dog, send your left heel high. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Hug the shin to the chest, smile. Relax your head, and then see if you can flick your foot forward between your hands. If you can land your heel first, awesome. If not, it'll happen one day, maybe. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal. So find your balance, pull your left hip back, right hip forward. A little bit of a bend on the back knee. Inhale, lifting up, crescent lunge. Soften in your crescent lunge for a moment. Find your breath. Take your arms out wide. Clip your back heel down. And coming into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Remember the laser beam on the front knee, the laser beam at the left fingers. Your gaze is in the direction of your laser beam. Tailbone tucks under, you're not sticking your booty out here. Tailbone is tucking under. Shoulders are relaxed. Steady your heart rate, I can feel mine going. And then straighten the front leg. Exhale to reach the left arm forward. Remember a tiny, tiny bend to the front knee. And then bring the left hand to the left shin and reach the right arm up. Roll the shoulder blades back in together. Press into the left big toe. Good. Reach up through the right fingers. Press into the back foot just as much as the front foot. Stabilize. Pull the belly to the spine. And then take your left hand forward. This is the hard bit. Turn your left palm up to the ceiling. Keep breathing. And maybe if you want to challenge yourself one step further, right arm by the right ear. Imagine you're holding your beach ball. Spin your chest to the ceiling. And then inhale, lift up to stand. Woo. Exhale, leaning over the back leg. A little bit of a reverse trikonasana. And then come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips and turn your left toes in. So you're facing the long side of your mat now. Grab your block or book or something that you can put underneath your hands. If you're near a sofa, you could even put your hands on the seat of the sofa. Somewhere you can put your hands so that you can be in a flat back position. You can see I've got a nice flat long spine here. My hands are under my shoulders on my brick. We're going to do a breathing practice now that helps us with a bandha, Uddiyana bandha, the flying up bandha. So that is lifting our abdominal contents up underneath the diaphragm. Same applies as before with the other breathing practice. If any of those things that I mentioned earlier apply to you, then please just breathe deeply here and think about stretching the hamstrings, stretching crown of the head to tailbone. If you want to, you can exhale, long, long, long exhale, soften your arms. At the end of the exhale, you bow forward. At the end of the exhale, you hold your breath out. Don't breathe in. Lift back up to halfway, but suck your belly button to your spine. It's hard to talk and do it. Don't breathe in. And then when you're ready to release, you let go of the muscles and then you breathe in. So it's what we call a false inhale. So I'll demonstrate again, and if you want to, you can join in me. We'll do it 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Long, long exhale, as much air as you can get out. Hold your breath out, lift up halfway, and then suck the belly button to the spine. And then release the muscles and breathe in. And you get a concave belly going on there. We'll do 1 more time. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, folding. Hold the breath out. Lift the chest. Lift the belly. Release the belly, breathe in. Lovely. You can move your block out to the side and walk your hands around to the front of the mat. Plant your hands. I'm going to step back to plank. We're going to come down onto the right elbow and roll on the outside edge of the right foot. You can either stack the left foot on top of the right foot or in front of the right foot. Lift the left arm up. Coming into a Vasisthasana, side plank variation. Forearm side plank. Breathing, making sure the top hip doesn't roll back too much. Whoop. And then bringing the left elbow down to the floor. Staying up if you can, rolling onto the left elbow, lifting the right arm up. Roll the right hip forward, press into the left shoulder. Imagine you're pushing the floor away from you. Flex your feet, smile. Then come back into a full forearm plank. Just for fun, keep on your elbows and walk your feet closer to you. Push the floor away, lift your hips high. Head is free of the mat. Dolphin, everyone's favourite. Lifting from the tummy muscles. Push the floor away with your elbows. Strong shoulders. And then lower your knees to the floor Untuck your toes, drop your bottom to your heels, take your arms around behind you, forehead to the floor, asana, child pose. Let your shoulders relax. Stay in your child's pose and feel the pressure of your belly against your thighs. Feel that massage that you're giving yourself with each breath. It's not just the front of the body that is expanding, it's the whole body. And then on an inhale, reach your arms forwards, lift your head, pulling yourself up to all fours. Cross your legs behind you at the shins and sit back to cross legs. Bring your legs out in front of you. Feet hip width apart, knees bent, knees pointing up to the ceiling, hands behind you, fingertips point forwards. Roll your shoulders together, lift your chest. Now if you want to, I'll come sideways on here so you can see. If you want to, you can stay here. If you want to, you're welcome to lift your hips, then come into easy Purvottanasana, tabletop position. We're going to do Kapalabhati again. It's that breathing practice that happens from the belly, the forced exhale through the nostrils that is controlled by contracting the belly muscles. So take a deep breath in and go for it. Contract, 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 contract. Deep inhale, long exhale, and as you exhale, lift up your toes. See if you can keep your bum lifted, and can you send your bottom through your hands, bringing your belly towards your thighs, and then bring your legs through again, lift up one more time. Exhale, hips to the floor, well done. Give your hands and arms a shake. It's dynamic today. You asked for it. You can roll over all fours any way you want to. And we're going to come forwards into a downward facing dog again. So come over into your downward facing dog. Lifting up through the hips. Take a deep inhale and let's lift the right leg up into the air. And as you exhale, we'll step the right foot forward. See if you can use the tummy muscles to control the right leg coming forwards. Flip the left heel down, straighten the right leg and lift all the way up and turn the right toes in. So you're now facing the left side of the mat. Going to work a little bit more with our core here. So some of you are going to think, yes, this is my moment. Great. Some of you are going to think, oh my goodness, and turn off the program now. But just bear with me. We're going to work with using our core to lift our hips and see what happens. So with your legs relatively wide, toes turning in, bring your hands to your hips, lift your chest, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bow forwards. Bringing your hands down to the floor and walk your hands back. If your hands touch the floor, great, you can go further. If not, your challenge is to stretch and lengthen the hamstrings, keeping the spine long. So perhaps you clasp your elbows and hang here, lifting the belly up and back. If your hands touch the floor, great, you can maybe walk your hands back in line with your feet. Perfect. You can stay here, working with pushing the floor forwards and bringing your head closer to the floor, lifting the belly. For those of you that want to go a little bit further, you can see if you can bring your crown of the head even to the floor, making a tripod shape with your hands and the crown of your head. Now, if you want to here, we can see what our abdominal strength is doing. Maybe you lift up onto your toes. Maybe you see if you can hover your feet. Maybe this is optional if you have a headstand practice. You can use a friend. You lift up. Keep breathing, keep smiling. And if you went to here, see if you can come down with some control.
Guiding yourself back up. Lovely. And we're going to walk our hands around to the back of the mat. Pivoting our feet, coming to the back of the mat. Place the right hand under the right shoulder, bend the left knee, and lift the left arm up. Reaching into the left finger, so you're turning towards the left leg. And we're going to roll onto the outside of the right foot, and then see if we can pick up the right foot, send it forwards, and then stack it on top of the left. Vasisthasana. Lovely. Lower the left hand down, come through a raised push-up position, a raised plank, and roll onto the left foot, the outside edge of the left foot, Vasisthasana. Lifting out of the left shoulder, so definitely not collapsing into your left shoulder. Bring your left knee down if you feel that that's happening. And we're going to reverse that movement. So see if you can lift your right leg, bring it forwards, bend the right knee, step it forwards, coming into your revolved lunge. Excellent. Lower your right hand down to the floor and step your right leg back into a down dog. Lifting hips up and back, pushing the floor away, and we'll do one last vinyasa. So using your tummy muscles to lift your hips up and over, coming into a plank, facing the back of your mat. Lower down, inhale up dog or cobra, exhale, lift through the hips. Nice. Down dog. Lower your knees one at a time. Sit back on your heels, come into a child's pose. Inhale to lift up, slide your hands back towards you, and we're going to pivot around to face the front of the mat again, to give the front of our body a bit of a stretch. And we've worked our shoulders a little bit as well, so we're going to stretch out our shoulders, the fronts of our shoulders. So bringing your legs out in front of you, sitting in Dandasana. Outside edges of the feet are pulling back just as much as the inside. We don't want our feet to be talking to each other. We want the outside edges of the feet pulling back, shoulders over hips, belly lifted. Bring your hands around behind you, puffing up your chest. Fingers point forward if possible. Roll your shoulders, shoulder blades together. And on an inhale, we're going to stretch the whole front of the body. Lift your hips. If it's appropriate, squeeze shoulder blades together. Some of you may be able to touch big toes to the floor. Make sure you're with each other. Lift the tummy muscles. Gaze is either up to the ceiling or down towards your belly. And then exhale. Lower the hips. Find your blocks that we used at the beginning, and we're going to finish as we started. So this is a quick fire it up, get your heart rate going, get your muscles working practice with a little bit of a rest. So just like we did at the beginning, find that position again. You might find that everything feels a little bit more open now. So if you want to see how it feels to take the block under your shoulders to its next setting up, and perhaps arrange the one under your head appropriately for you, so you can let your shoulders open, stretch the front of your body, feet together, knees apart, arms down by your sides. And you know what? These are my hard bricks. I normally do this with my soft bricks. I normally cheat or use a bolster. If you've got cushions, it's even more comfy. There we go. It's okay to faff around so that you can find your comfy position. You don't want to be in a posture thinking, oh God, when is this going to be over? That defeats the object of yoga. Yoga is sthira sukha asana, steady, comfortable pose. Now bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. Feel your heartbeat starting to settle as you breathe deeply. And feel the warmth of your belly underneath the other hand. And under that hand, imagine a flame, if you can. Or perhaps the colour of fire. And each breath that you take is fanning that fire and spreading that beautiful flame around your whole body, burning off anything which no longer serves you, burning off disease, burning off anger, hatred, burning off desire, envy, ego, bringing us into a state of sattva, of purity. You are in control of your fire. Your breath is what keeps it going. And now when you're ready to, you can very gently start to remove your bricks, cushions, blocks, books, whatever you've got underneath you. And make your way to lying down in Shavasana. Now if you want to, if you feel like you need a little knee hug here after having the chest opener, by all means bring your knees into your chest, have a little hug, roll around on your spine, walk your shoulder blades away from your hips, and use your hands to pull your shoulder blades apart from each other before you let your arms drop down by your sides, before you let your legs relax. If you want to slide something under your knees, you can. Grab a blanket, grab a jumper, an eye pillow if you have one to hand, and be comfy, be warm, keep the fire burning. And as you lie down and relax, find a sense of ease. Let go of your thinking mind, let go of images of fire. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to do anything. Your breath is always there for you. Your breath will continue to help the fire to burn. Give your body time. Give your body the gift of patience. Give your mind the gift of patience. There's no rush. Why rush? Sink down into the support of the floor, any props you may have, and allow yourself to relax, to let go, and just to be.
when you're ready to, just gently let your mind come back to the space around you. Start to be aware of where you are again. Start to notice how your body is feeling. How does it feel to breathe? How does it feel to be you right now? To be the amazing soul that you are in the amazing body that you have, that's carried you through your yoga practice today, that will continue to carry you through the rest of your day or evening, into your weekend, wherever you practice this. And in your own time, you can slowly make your way up to any comfortable seated position. Again, you're welcome to sit up on a block. If your hips feel open, by all means sit on the floor. Find a position that's right for you. And when we're all upright again, take a deep breath in, reach your arms up, stretch into your fingers, Prana Mudra. Invite all that amazing energy into your body, through your fingers, through your arms. And then as you exhale, bring your palms together. Bring your thumbs to your forehead. Remind yourselves to go into the rest of your day or tomorrow with kind and loving thoughts. Bring your thumbs to rest in front of your throat, reminding yourselves to communicate clearly and honestly and with love. And then bring your hands to your heart center and remind yourselves to be compassionate with your own self, to love your own self, and to breathe. Just breathe. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.